How you doing, guys? Welcome to Monsters and Mazes. I'm your host, Mr. No One. All right, quick recap from yesterday. The party went ahead and started to go back to Emtor. They traversed through the previous two hexes. In the last hex that they were in, they discovered, like out in a little bit of the distance, they found what appeared to be a dry riverbed that if you followed it up, it ended up coming out to like some falls and a defunct waterfall, for that, like a better term. But while they were doing all that and setting up for camp, things like that, they ended up encountering a pair of orange men, which if I actually looked this up, that does exist in literature. They're called AOLs, A-O, like AOLS. I thought that was interesting. It was a friendly encounter, other than Tormed being a little suspicious, keeping an eye out, being very on alert, as it were, for any kind of subterfuge or deception. This morning, well, for these guys, in the morning, the orange men are basically heading south. The party tried to, talked about maybe giving some assistance, but they were adamant that they were, they didn't need any help, which was fine. Okay, so today we're going to go back the way we came. Now, in this case, is going to be through some hill country, and it'll culminate into another set of mountains. Now, that's pretty much now. So all I have to do is I'm going to roll for encounters and, of course, the possibility of a feature. We'll see what happens. All right. No on both parts for the first one. All right. That takes, now going through the hills takes about 3 hours. So they have 10 hours of daylight. So they're going to make it to the mountains probably by the end of the day. And see how fast that goes. All right. And on the second hex, there is 7 and 6, so 6 on the encounter, 7 on the feature, so that means that nothing occurs. Let's see what happens in this as they're going through. Now, to give it kind of a visual, imagine like any of the Mars rover footage that you've seen. Okay. That's more or less the landscape these guys are dealing with. So it's rocky, it's even the hills are, they might as well be worn down mountains for all they know. But it's still very, very, more or less barren, right, at this point. If I come across things like thickets or some kind of environment where there are actual, like life, I'll let you know, because that would be kind of interesting. Because there is some actually very interesting way to roll up flora for these areas. All right, last hex. Anything occur? Nope. We got a 9 on the encounter, a 7 on the feature, which means that they make it back to where they had originally encountered. I believe that was the white apes, if I remember correctly. But they don't encounter anything in particular. So smooth sailing. All right. The only thing is that they expended provisions, so 1 apiece. That's it. That was pretty quick, actually. And then again, I'm going to reiterate: there will be days where nothing happens. It's just they go through terrain, they go through the landscape, and nothing of importance to change. Yeah. Oh yeah, they actually earned some XP from yesterday. Basically kind of like half of what they would normally earn, because even though, like, if this were a group and they had made the encounter with, these NPCs, the Orange Men NPCs, they would then, if it was a friendly thing, they had conversations, they did all these kind of things, where nothing, like bad happened, you still get some partial XP for just the encounter, the exchange of role play. most of the role play that happens for me is in my head, and usually once I'm done rolling dice and I've started, writing in my the diary, the game summary, I get to play it back in my mind, and then put that to paper, and then turn around, take that sparse amount of information, and then elaborate further on the blog. Okay, so there you go. I'm gonna do my game summary, and that's really it. Quick day. All right. Well, this has been Monsters and Mazes. I'm Mr. No One, and I'll see you guys, tomorrow for day 6.